A sitcom about two impossibly snobby brothers became one of the most decorated comedies ever made, even as the actor playing their gruff father had spent nearly a decade editing a medical journal, not acting. Welcome back to Golden Era Stars. 33 years after it first aired, here's where the Frasier cast is now.
Kelsey Grammer stepped into the role of Dr. Frasier Crane, the fussy Seattle radio psychiatrist who had already spent 9 years playing this exact character on Cheers before this spin-off ever had a script. Grammer was 38 when production began, a Juilliard-trained Shakespearean actor whose polished on-air persona masked a far darker personal history. Long before the cameras rolled, he had survived a string of family tragedies. His father was shot and killed when Grammer was 13, his younger sister was murdered 5 years later, and 2 half-brothers died in a diving accident not long after. Losses that shaped the man behind that calm psychiatrist's voice.
Today, at 71, Grammer, born Alan Kelsey Grammer, holds one of the longest single-character runs in television history, having reprised Frasier Crane for a 2023 revival 3 decades after the original series ended. After Frasier wrapped in 2004, he built a second career playing villains and stiff-collared authority figures, notably a corrupt mayor in Boss and a hardline general in Transformers: Age of Extinction. Now married to his 4th wife, Kate Walsh, he welcomed his 8th child in December 2025. On screen, Frasier Crane just wanted everyone to lower their voices and reflect. Off-screen, Grammer spent decades turning real grief into some of television's most quotable comic timing.
David Hyde Pierce took on Niles Crane, Frasier's even fussier younger brother, a character whose existence contradicted Cheers' canon, where Frasier had once been established as an only child. Producers waved that away the moment they saw how closely Pierce resembled Kelsey Grammer. Pierce was 33 when he was cast, a Yale-trained stage actor who had been billing himself simply as David Pierce. Because another actor already held that name at the Screen Actors Guild, he'd been forced to add his middle name, Hyde, a change he actually fought to reverse, only to watch it become inseparable from Niles' snooty image the moment the show became a hit.
Today, at 67, Pierce, born David Pierce, with Hyde added only for union paperwork, holds a rare record: 4 consecutive Emmy wins for the same supporting role, a streak no other performer has matched. After Frasier, he pivoted hard toward Broadway, winning a Tony Award for the musical Curtains, and later co-starring in the Tony-winning play Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike. He married television writer and producer Brian Hargrove in 2008. Niles once nearly fainted proposing to Daphne in one unbroken multi-minute monologue. In real life, Pierce built an entire second career on the kind of live, unforgiving stagecraft that leaves no room for a second take.
Jane Leeves became Daphne Moon, the psychic-claiming English housekeeper, played with a thick Manchester accent despite Leeves herself being from Essex and having never lived in Manchester at all. Leeves was 32 when she was cast, having already logged time as a background dancer on The Benny Hill Show and a brief run as Marla the Virgin on Seinfeld. When she became pregnant during the show's 8th season, the writers folded her real pregnancy into the plot by having Daphne gain weight from stress and disappear to a spa. And in one script, Niles cites a supposed weight loss figure that exactly matches the real birth weight of Leaves' newborn daughter.
Today, at 65, Leeves, born Jane Elizabeth Leeves in Ilford, Essex, chose to slow down after Frasier to focus on raising her 2 children before returning to series television on Hot in Cleveland alongside Betty White. She has been married to television executive Marshall Coben since 1996. She remains close with several former castmates, some of whom are godparents to her children. Daphne spent 11 seasons pretending to read palms and predict the future. Leeves spent that same decade faking a British regional accent so convincingly that viewers back in Manchester spent years complaining about how wrong it sounded.
Peri Gilpin won the role of Roz Doyle, Frasier's sharp-tongued radio producer, beating out roughly 300 other actresses for the part, including Lisa Kudrow, who was actually cast first and then let go before filming began because producers wanted someone with more edge. Gilpin was 31 when she was cast, born Perry K. Oldham in Waco, Texas. Her own show business family turned out stranger than fiction. Her stepbrother, Mark Gilpin, had played the boy killed early in Jaws 2, years before his sister became famous playing opposite Kelsey Grammer.
Today, at 65, Gilpin, who took her stepfather's surname as a child, spent the years after Frasier guest starring on shows including Desperate Housewives, Grey's Anatomy, and Scorpion, and reprised Roz for the 2023 revival. She married painter Christian Vincent in 1999, and after a long fertility struggle, welcomed twin daughters by surrogate in 2004, just as the original series wrapped. Roz's love life on the show was famously chaotic. Off-screen, Gilpin describes her Frasier housemates as family, still trading calls and emails with them decades after the camera stopped rolling.
John Mahoney played Martin Crane, the gruff, working-class ex-cop father of two overeducated sons, though he was actually a British-born former magazine editor with a master's degree in English, nothing like the blue-collar Seattle native he portrayed. Mahoney was 52 when he was cast, having lost his native Blackpool accent so thoroughly during a stint in the U.S. Army that most viewers assumed he had been born American. Before Steppenwolf Theater or Broadway ever entered his life, Mahoney spent nearly a decade as an editor at a Chicago medical journal, quietly unhappy, until he quit at 37 to study acting, a late leap that led directly to his defining role.
John Mahoney died at 77 from complications of throat cancer in February 2018, capping decades as a beloved fixture of Chicago's Steppenwolf Theater Company, which he had joined as one of its earliest members, alongside John Malkovich and Gary Sinise. After Frasier ended, he largely returned to the stage he always preferred over television, appearing in Steppenwolf and Broadway productions almost until his death. Martin Crane spent 11 seasons grumbling about his son's pretensions from a battered recliner. Mahoney, in real life, only discovered his love of performing after walking away from a decade in an office job he had grown to dread.
Dan Butler played Bob Bulldog Briscoe, the swaggering, skirt-chasing sports radio host, who was himself gay and quietly living a very different life than his character's macho persona suggested. Butler was 38 when Bulldog debuted in the show's first season, initially just a recurring guest before joining the main cast in 1996. He had already brushed against true crime infamy by then, having appeared in small roles in both Manhunter and The Silence of the Lambs, making him one of a handful of actors to turn up in two different Hannibal Lecter films.
Today, at 71, Butler is remembered for coming out publicly in 1994 while still playing Bulldog, by writing and starring in his own solo stage show about gay identity, which went on to earn a Drama Desk nomination. He has continued acting and writing steadily since Frasier ended, and briefly reprised Bulldog, now written as openly gay himself, for the 2023 revival. Bulldog spent the original series bragging about his conquests with women. Butler spent that same decade quietly helping expand what gay visibility on primetime television could look like. Edward Hibbert played Gil Chesterton, KACL's haughty restaurant critic, while quietly running one of the industry's respected literary agencies on the side. Hibbert was 38 when he first appeared, a Royal Academy of Dramatic Art graduate, born in New York but raised in England, the son of two working actors. Around the same years he played Gil, he also voiced Zazu the Hornbill in Disney's Lion King sequels, stepping into a role originated on film by Rowan Atkinson.
Today, at 70, Hibbert still works as a partner at a New York literary agency representing authors, while continuing to act on stage and screen, including a Broadway return alongside his former Frasier co-star David Hyde Pierce. He reprised Gil for a single episode of the 2023 revival. Gil Chesterton insisted for years that he was happily married to a woman named Deb, before the show quietly confirmed otherwise. Hibbert, meanwhile, built an entire second career many fans of the show never even knew he had.
Harriet Sansom Harris played Bebe Glazer, Frasier's cutthroat, chain-smoking talent agent, and had actually crossed paths with future castmate David Hyde Pierce years earlier, playing Ophelia to his Laertes in a Broadway production of Hamlet. Harris was 38 when she began appearing as Bebe, a Juilliard-trained stage actress who had built her reputation off-Broadway in Paul Rudnick's acclaimed play Jeffrey. Bebe was written as a one-off guest role, but proved so popular she kept returning throughout the entire 11-season run.
Today, at 71, Harris has become one of theater's most decorated character actresses, winning a Tony Award in 2002 for the musical Thoroughly Modern Millie, and later taking on major television roles, including Felicia Tillman on Desperate Housewives. She has continued working steadily on Broadway and in film ever since. BB Glazer would do almost anything to land a deal for her clients. Harris, more honestly, has simply kept landing acclaimed roles of her own for over 4 decades. Patrick Kerr played Noel Shemsky, the station's obsessive Star Trek fan, who spoke fluent Klingon on the show years before that kind of devotion went mainstream. Kerr was around 38 when the character debuted in the show's first season, a Yale School of Drama graduate who would go on to guest star in an actual Star Trek series himself. Kelsey Grammer, coincidentally, had also once played a starship captain on Star Trek, putting 2 Frasier actors inside the same universe their characters idolized.
Today, at 70, Kerr continues working steadily in television and film, including a recurring role as a small-town shopkeeper on the Apple TV Plus series The Big Door Prize. He is openly gay and has spent much of his career moving between New York and Los Angeles stage work and screen roles. Noel Shemsky spent the series desperate for autographs from actors he idolized. Kerr, in real life, quietly went on to share a set with some of those same franchises himself.
Tom McGowan played Kenny Daly, KACL's mild-mannered station manager, arriving at Frasier fresh off a Tony-nominated Broadway debut in the play Libet, a far cry from the low-key sitcom role. McGowan was around 34 when he began appearing as Kenny, a Yale School of Drama graduate raised in Belmar, New Jersey. He balanced the recurring TV work with a serious stage career throughout the 1990s, picking up an Obie Award for an off-Broadway play around the same period.
Today, at 67, McGowan has spent much of his post-Frasier career on Broadway, including stepping into the title role of the Wizard in Wicked and starring in the original production of Casa Valentina. He also held a recurring role as Ray's friend Bernie on Everybody Loves Raymond. Kenny Daly quietly managed a chaotic radio station without much fuss. McGowan, in real life, has spent decades commanding much bigger stages, including some of Broadway's largest musicals.
Frasier ran on NBC from September 1993 to May 2004, spanning 264 episodes and winning a record 37 Emmy Awards, including 5 consecutive wins for Outstanding Comedy Series. Of the cast featured here, only John Mahoney has passed away, while the rest of the ensemble remain active in film, television, and theater. From a doctor obsessed with fine wine and finer opera, to a real-life editor who couldn't stand the sight of another medical report, the cast behind Frasier turned out to be just as unpredictable as the show that made them famous.